All right, we got a bunch of different diverse stories today, so we're going to get right into it. But all of them collectively confirm one thing for sure. It's fantastic to be a Nintendo Switch fan. Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. You guys are awesome, and we are in an awesome era. I was on a podcast last night. If you want to check it out, I'll drop a link in the description down below. And what I learned from that experience is that Nintendo could do any number of things to the next console, and we're in good hands. Like, their software is at such a high level right now. Their games are so supremely strong. It doesn't really matter which way they go, when they go, how they go. As long as they keep going, we are in good hands. And one of the things that's going to help lead us there is Metroid Prime 4. We'll kick it off with that. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Hope you're excited for more Nintendo news. I bring it to you every day. If you want to subscribe to join our ship, we'd love to have you. Free gluten-free cookies and definitely a hug or two. Andrew Faithful. What a great last name. Faithful for Metroid Prime 4. Yep, Andrew is a freelance artist. He's a creature artist, and he worked at Retro Studios. Well, he still does work there, but he posted on LinkedIn that he will be needing new work as of July. This is very interesting. This was just dug up that Andrew says his contract on the new Prime ends in July, and he's looking for new work. Now, two things are interesting about this. One, if he's a creature artist and his contract expires in July, that tells me the game is either done or very nearly done. I think Metroid Prime 4, I can almost hear it sizzling. It's heating up. But the second part is that his creature designs look so incredibly cool. They're very lifelike, they're very Mass Effect, but you can see how they could also be very Metroid Prime. I don't think we're ready for how good Metroid Prime 4 is going to look, and potentially how well they are going to design the world and characters to maybe reinvent what we think of as Samus Aran and her baddies. Like, Samus is a GameCube era hero in the Metroid Prime franchise, and it continued on from there to Wii, but it sort of stopped. Now, if Metroid Prime 4 is being prepped for this console and the next console, both consoles, you know that it'll take advantage of graphical capabilities. Metroid Prime 1 Remastered, by a lot of accounts, is maybe the best looking Switch exclusive. And that's a remastered game from eons ago. So imagine what they could do if this is indeed a showpiece for where Nintendo is headed from a technology standpoint. And looking at Andrew's character designs, I can only imagine where they'll go with some of the NPCs, some of the villains, and just the entire world design. I really hope that his sort of creepy, yet spacey, yet Pan's Labyrinthy aesthetic is incorporated in the game. And that little nugget about his contract ending in July is very interesting. If this game was a ways off, if they were still in the throes of development, no way they cut a guy this talented in July. Food for thought. Now, Rockstar is something that has somehow supported Nintendo Switch a little bit, but maybe not in the ways that we would like. Look, they put out the Grand Theft Auto collection, which had all sorts of problems at launch. They brought us L.A. Noire, which is a personal favorite, but they've avoided bringing more modern Grand Theft Autos or the beloved Red Dead Redemption franchise. There's a chance that could be changing, and sooner rather than later. A new ratings for Red Dead Redemption popped up on the South Korean ratings board. And you know about ratings board, things pop up there before they're announced and before they're made official, especially from third parties. Now, this is a totally new rating. So this isn't for the original game. This isn't for the Undead Nightmare DLC. This isn't for a Game of the Year edition. This is a brand new rating on the South Korea ratings board. They already have ratings for all those other editions. So what could this be? Is it a PC port? Is it a remaster or remake? Is it a Nintendo Switch version? I think Nintendo Switch could more than handle RDR1. We got Witcher 3 over here. We're about to get Mortal Kombat 1. If it can do Mortal Kombat 1 and Witcher 3, it can surely do RDR 1. Could a port be the perfect remedy for the Rockstar absence as of late on Nintendo Switch? And is it a great late era cash-in for Take-Two to say, hey, 130 million Switch owners, maybe a few milli want to play RDR, and we can pop it over there. It's good faith. It builds, and GTA 6 is costing like $1 quadrillion, so we need to recoup some of that soon. This also could be just for other platforms, or as I mentioned, bringing a remastered version to like PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, so don't get your hopes too high up, but I do want to note that Take-Two has been very supportive of Switch across their 2K portfolio and with a few Rockstar titles. We've seen Borderlands 3 pop up on a ratings board for Switch, and now we have a no platform specific Red Dead Redemption rating. Maybe a lot of these games are waiting for the next Switch, but I think RDR could pop off this holiday season on our current Switch. We'll have to wait and see. We got Lara Croft dropping today, we got Batman dropping in a few months, and now, could we add John Marston to the gang? I think we could. Before we get to the big, oh my gosh, what is going on here story of the day, take a look at this chart. I saw this yesterday in conjunction with all of the nonsense going on around the FTC and the Microsoft Activision merger, which, by the way, we're waiting on official documentation for that Bobby Kotick quote. I had a quote, like an exact source quote that I covered in my video, but last night I changed the title to possibly fake because some articles were deleted and there was some confusion over exactly what Mr. Kotick said. His microphone was very jumbled. They eventually released the transcripts from these cases and from these deliberations. We don't have it yet, but I do want to point out this. Look at this chart. You can see the major inflection point where Wii U said, oh gosh, we're falling off the face of the earth. At that point, Nintendo was so below Sony and Microsoft, it wasn't even close. And then they started to climb. They made a Mount Everest climb to the top of the heap, doubling up the power of both PlayStation and Xbox in terms of sales and consoles shipped. But look what's happening now. We are in a steep drop-down period. And even though Mario RPG and Mario Wonder are exciting titles, and I do think they're going to be fantastically reviewed, you can't argue with the momentum is starting to fade. Not on the software side, but on the hardware side. And I just wanted to point this out as another sort of little piece of the puzzle to Nintendo getting closer and closer to announcing what's next. They do not want this line to cross beneath the PlayStation or Xbox lines, because when that happened with the Wii last time, it did not recover until Switch. As you can see, once the Wii began to decline around 2008, 2009, they were in a period of decline for about 8 years. Never again, and definitely not under the watch of Furukawa. I feel like he is so business-oriented and a different type of leader. I think the transition is incredibly important to him. And who knows, maybe it's closer than we think. I was sure that this is far off in the distant future after their Nintendo Switch Direct and the games announced including 2024 titles, but something at Best Buy has rattled my brain. Now, let me preface this by saying there's all sorts of theories and all sorts of angles about how Nintendo handles the game library making the switch from Switch 1 to Switch 2. Is everything just cross-compatible, sort of how on a PC you have medium graphics, high graphics, like do all the games just work across both? Is the new system totally backwards compatible but also has totally different games? Is there a cross-gen period? Are there some exclusives and some that work on both? It's a modern Marvel mystery, and we won't know until Nintendo or Miyamoto or one of those guys says it for themselves. But Best Buy is currently having a buy two, get one free sale on all Switch games. This does not happen very often, not in this way. You're talking about Tears of the Kingdom combined with Mario Wonder combined with Pikmin 4. Yes, it includes the latest and greatest, the first-party titles, as well as upcoming exclusive pre-orders. What is going on? Now, a channel that I follow and who has provided some interesting information and kind of follows the LinkedIn and very in-depth sort of Nintendo workings is Dr. 81. And he made a video talking about how this seems very odd. Why Switch? Why not other platforms? And are they looking to clear shelf space to make room for something new? Now, keep in mind, this is only for Best Buy membership holders. The Best Buy membership is like $49, but it doesn't seem like they're aggressively pushing the membership. It seems like they're just trying to push out Switch games. I agree with Doctor that this looks odd. Why, when they do this sale this time, are they including everything? Because typically it's a select list of games. Typically it's, third-party games. Maybe they'll toss in a bone from 2017 or 2018 on the first-party lineup. But in no world are they doing current huge hits like Tears of the Kingdom and upcoming huge hits like Mario Bros. Wonder or Super Mario RPG. Very strange. Now, I begin to question why Nintendo would want to move these games out if there is going to be some sort of cross-compatibility, which I absolutely believe there will be, and these big sellers could continue to just blossom even further. I don't know if this is a direct link to any sort of Switch 2 inevitability, but I do think it's quite interesting. What is the motivation for right here, right now, putting all Switch games on a super sale. Yes, it's limited to members, but maybe it's because they're not selling a lot of SKUs. Maybe they want to move systems and they feel like if you could get in there and get some of the best Switch games, maybe you'd be more likely to buy a Nintendo Switch. Is this just a retailer trying to invigorate its audience at a brick and mortar store that maybe isn't getting enough love? Or is there more to it? I feel like everything about the Switch 2, or whatever Nintendo calls their next console, is smoke right now. There's a lot of smoke in a lot of different areas from a lot of different avenues. When will it become fire? Hopefully that point is sooner rather than later, and we can look at the year. July would have to be the time if it was 2023. October would have to be the time if it was early 2024. And then beyond that, it's like next summer if it's the holiday. So we have quite a ways to go, but these different lines in the sand will eliminate certain options, and we will gain a much more clear picture as time moves on. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one more thought about Metroid Prime 4. Metroid Prime 4, is there any chance that game gets announced at the September Direct, re-revealed, and then released in December? Nintendo does not have a August title. They do not have a September title, and they do not have a December game. Off the heels of Mario Wonder and Mario RPG, could Metroid Prime 4 be a trifecta for Nintendo Switch to reach their console sales goals this holiday season? Very doubtful, but given this creature artist, his contract's up in July, what are they waiting for? How long will they sit on this game? Because they sat on Metroid Prime Remastered for about a year and a half. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, everybody. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. And until next time, SwitchForce out.